first grade. How are you guys? How's everybody doing out there today? Let me hear it. Awesome, very cool. It's great to see you guys again. Happy, I guess this is Wednesday. Yeah, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm gonna read a story for you guys called No Roses for Harry. This is an awesome story by Jean Zion. And with this story, we're gonna use it. We're gonna use it this week to discuss the main idea. Remember, the main idea is what the story is mostly about. We like to think about it as a stool. There can be three things that happen in the story, three supporting details, three true things that happen in the story that hold up the main idea. And remember, the main idea is something that we come up with all on our own. It's all the pieces of the story that happened, and we come up with the main idea as a sentence on our own. It's not written down in the story, and it doesn't say it out loud. This is the main idea. It's something that we really have to think about using the supporting details, right? Okay, so today I'm gonna read you guys the story. I'll stop and think, and we'll pause a couple of times just to think about, what have we read so far? Could that be a supporting detail of something? And we'll use that to try and figure out the main idea and the supporting details for No Roses for Harry. All right, so let's get started. This is No Roses for Harry by Jean Zion. Can everybody see? Yeah, okay. Harry was a white dog with black spots, and on his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He didn't like the roses. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he'd ever seen. The next day, when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. Many people saw it, and they laughed, and when dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind then and there to lose Grandma's present. When the children went into a big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First, he tried to lose his sweater in the pet department, but a man found it and gave it right back to him. Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department, but a lady found it and gave it right back. He tried to lose it in the flower department, but a little boy found it and gave it back. Let's stop and think for a second. So far, what has happened in this story? There's been a couple of things that had happened. I want you to stop and think about that and put that in your memory as a supporting detail. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. And as they started home, Harry was beginning to think he'd never lose this sweater. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him, but Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. As he sat wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater. He pulled at the wool, just a little at first, then a bit more, and a little bit more. Harry didn't know it, but a bird was watching him. He's pulling on that, pulling on his sweater. In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of wool. The end of it lay on the grass behind him. Suddenly, the bird flew down. Quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. Let's stop and think here too. Maybe we've got supporting detail number 2 here for this story. Maybe, maybe not. You decide. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. First one leg, then the neck, then the other leg, then the back, and finally the whole thing was just one long piece of wool flying off into the sky. The sweater was gone. He barked and jumped with joy, and then he ran out of the yard. He ran down the street barking, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," to the bird over and over and over again. The bird and the wool were just a tiny speck in the sky, but Harry kept following them. He came home thirsty and tired and was having a nice drink in the kitchen when the children ran in. "We got a letter from Grandma," one of them said. "She's coming to visit us," shouted the other. Harry thought of the sweater and his poor little tail dropped. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how nice Harry looked in it. Of course they couldn't find it though, but only Harry knew why. When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with the leash. Then he sat up and he begged. "All right, Harry," said Grandma. "After I've had my lunch and a nap, we'll go for a walk." That afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the children started off on their walk. Harry barked happily and pulled towards the park. When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off his leash, and he ran on ahead. He seemed to be looking for something. And all at once, he stopped under a big tree. He looked up and began to bark and wag his tail. Grandma and the children came running. What could Harry be barking at in a tree? What could that old hairy boy be doing? They got to the tree, and they looked up too. Suddenly, one of the children said, "Hey, I see a nest." "It's made of wool," said the other, "and it's the very same color as Harry's sweater." They shouted together. "It is Harry's sweater," exclaimed Grandma. Just then a bird looked out of the nest. "Look, Grandma, look," shouted the children. "Harry gave his sweater to a bird." "I wonder how he did that," said Grandma. The bird sang and Harry wagged his tail even harder. "Look at his sweater up there. Oh my goodness." At Christmas, Harry got a present from Grandma. It was a new sweater. Harry liked this one very much. When he tried it on, he felt as cozy and snug as the bird in the nest. But best of all, it was white with black spots, just like Harry. The end. Oh, I love Jean Zion's stories. They're so great. So remember, friends, use your first grade newsletter with Mom or whoever is working with you today. And I want you to think about what were some of the details that happened in this story, the true facts. They really did. They absolutely happened in this story. I want you to use that to come up with what you think the main idea of this story is. Again, what was this story mostly about? I thank you guys so much for coming and reading with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. If you have any questions or need any help, please reach out to one of your teachers. And if you're my student, reach out to me. Thank you guys so much. Remember, we are safe, we are kind, we are respectful, we are pandas. See you guys later. Bye-bye.